So, I never actually watched Pitch Black or The Chronicles of Riddick before seeing this. What are the odds that something from the previous movie would come up here? I mean, who cares about continuity? Riddick. So the one thing that irked me about the trailer for this was that I thought it was giving away the whole movie, and it turns out it really just gives away the setup for the third act. How we actually get to that point was actually a bit of a surprise. When the movie opens up, Riddick is now stranded on this planet, and the first 30 minutes of this movie was like castaway on an alien planet. Riddick was just on full survivalist mode, and the dude is just barely getting by. Eventually the bounty hunters show up, but the setup with the bounty hunters is a little different from the way they showed you in the trailer, so I don't want to give that away. But yeah, Riddick has a pretty big bounty on his head to the point where he's actually worth more dead than alive. So they really want to kill him. And the movie's just pure and simple, him against them, and then it kind of becomes like a slasher flick for a little while. The bounty hunters make different impressions. The ones that don't make any impression at all are kind of picked off right away. The ones that make it at least halfway through the film just happen to be the people whose names you know. The bounty hunters are played by Matt Nable, Katie Sackhoff, Dave Bautista, King Woodbine, and a few others. But I also want to mention Jordi Molia. There's nothing like watching an actor you don't like play a character you don't like. I never got what it was about that guy, but I just don't like him. But anyway, it's not that hard to predict who survives by the end. But I thought everyone was fine for the most part, but the problem with the movie is that this is just not a good screenplay. Like, I get it, it's not about the writing, it's about the action. I get it, it's a B movie. But just some of these bad lines had me cringing where I guess they wanted more of a laugh, but I just could not get with it. For example, Jordi Molia's character ends up calling Katie Sackhoff a lesbo at one point. And that word with me is like on par with oh snap on my do people really still say that list? And there's like a lot of tough guy dialogue that just did not work for me. But I don't want to sound too negative, so I'll talk about the strengths of this being a B-movie hard R sci-fi flick. The action in this had me cringing, especially during the first 30 minutes, but like in a good way. Riddick was just trying to survive on this planet. And the thing with Riddick is that he'll get hit hard, so you will see him struggle, so you do feel for the guy. And there are times where you're just like, is he gonna make it out of this? The effects of this in this movie are a mixed batch. Like when they're good, but there are other times when the planet just feels like they're on a set. There's both good and bad CGI. The creatures on the planet are very well done, but there's like one scene where everyone's like riding like hover bikes, and yeah, they don't look too great. The movie as a whole was just like a mixture of both good and bad of a genre I've never really been too keen on, but I want to commend it for being a genuine effort. So it was really just a give or take. I like the first 30 minutes of the movie for all the times it made me cringe, but I do think that part ran a bit long. Certain corny lines worked for me, others didn't. I liked the bounty hunters for the most part in some of the ways that they interacted with each other, but I did feel like the movie was, and most of the characters were a little too misogynist towards Katie Sackhoff's character at times. See what I mean? But for fans of the series, I think this is one to watch in theaters, especially if you want to support Vin Diesel, who put some of his own money into this. But as like a casual observer like myself, I think you'd be better off catching this at home. But with that said, I like the movie more than I didn't. So that's my review of Riddick. If you've seen it, tell me what you thought of it in the comments section. Have you been a long-time fan of this series? Let me know. And if you like this review and you want to see more, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.